The state called 9 witnesses to the stand. 24-year-old Nalo Mtizana survived the tragedy and testified that Siyakhangela Ndevu was at the establishment on that fateful day. She said Ndevu made a move on her and offered to buy alcohol for her and her friends.
Yes. He wanted me to be his girlfriend.
Okay. So he was proposing love.
That's correct.
Okay. And what did he say?
Wapinde wathini ke? He said, I told him that I don't date older people, and he said, that's my loss.
A former employee at the Tavern, Tiko, was on duty as a bouncer on the evening of the 26th of June. Tiko said Ndevu was present at the tavern and was made aware of the stampede at Enyobeni. Tiko maintained during the testimony that the owner ignored the situation.
I left the room where I got the carry pack from. And then when I was leaving, I then said this again because the door was still closed. Mr. Ndevu, do you see the mess that is going on here? Hey, what?
When you asked him for the second time, any response from Mr. Ndevu?
Kwelesibini ke ngokuphethe le carry bag. Umbuzayo uye wakuphendula? No, nobody answered.
After realizing that the crowd at the door was uncontrollable, Tiko said she left the entrance and went inside, where she witnessed children collapsing.
It
was still at that moment when we were still having this chaos, when small kids came and then they immediately fell and died on the floor right in front of us.
Abanye nabo bayayo bapha phansi sabathatha bayi3 sabangqengqe sabaphansi sazama ubathandazela but oyi1 endandimnqandile bamakangeni phawuna 13 years wasweleka yena kwabantwana babepha.
The Buffalo City Metro also recently issued a notice of intent to demolish the tavern. It found that the structure was built illegally and not zoned for business. The owner described the action by the Metro as a witch hunt.
In Scenery Park or any location or any township that was meant for black people, how many buildings have been built there without their plan being passed? There's so many. They even pass licenses or plans after the building have been erected already. What is different with mine? There's nothing different.
The state concluded its case by showing CCTV footage of the day of the tragedy. In the video footage, Siyakhangela Ndevu is seen selling alcohol to patrons.
We believe that we have led enough evidence for the court to reach a guilty verdict. Now it is up to the defense to bring evidence that will refute whatever we've led so far.
The parents of the victims are happy with the progress of the trial.
We all know that the accused have pleaded not guilty, but it's not surprising to us because there are very few people who will come to court and agree that they are guilty. So they will try their luck and say they are not guilty, but the state will have to prove, I think, what it's before the state right at the moment, and the witnesses, they're quite very strong case against them.
An inquest into the death of 21 young people also started in the East London Regional Court last week. The first day was a short affair with no witnesses called. The inquest will resume on the 11th of September, and the state is set to furnish the court with the contents of the investigation docket. The inquest aims to establish if anyone can be held liable for the deaths at the tavern. More than 30 witnesses are expected to give evidence. Lubabalo, Dada, SABC News, East London.